What is up, everyone? Today we'll be taking a look at Dragonite with Superpower in Master League Premier Classic. Dragonite was always incredible in this format, but now it is even better, because with Superpower it puts up an even better fight versus Steel types. I'll be showcasing two different squads with it today, starting with this very simple team with Dragonite, Snorlax, and Excadrill. Of course, Master League Premier Classic isn't live just yet, so these battles were done versus members of my Discord. Thank you very much to everyone I battled. First game, I lead my Dragonite into a Metagross. This isn't great, as even with Superpower you do lose most even shield scenarios, except for the 2 shields, which I don't really want to play out, especially since I have 2 better answers in the back. So I throw Superpower here, dip into Snorlax. I even got a shield there, which is quite huge. Before Superpower was a thing, I definitely would have never gotten a shield there, but now with it, you do get a shield, which is quite nice. I take this Meteor Mesh on my Snorlax. Snorlax is really just some damage sponge on this team, so I never really intend to shield it. It lures out a Dragonite, which is fine. I can do some damage here with the body slams, but they will be able to volley farm me down before I knock them out, which is kind of scary, as it seems they're gonna end up with like 2 Dragon Claws after this matchup. Yeah, that's their 8th Dragon Claw or their 8th Dragon Tail, so now they have double Dragon Claw stored. I bring in my Dragonite here, as I don't want to get hit by Superpower on Excadrill, but I also really don't want to get hit by a Dragon Claw on my Dragonite. So I shoot the first, and then I catch the next on my Excadrill. Excadrill was pretty squishy though, so as you can see, this actually does a decent chunk of damage, especially if you add the Dragon Tails. I don't really want to get hit by another Dragon Claw, so I throw my Rock Slide right before they get to their next. This takes a shield. Clearly they're quite weak to Excadrill on the back, so I'm gonna shield this up. Also, because I really need my Excadrill for that Metagross. They Superpower me, and then I Duron the Metagross, but Metagross wins CMP, sadly, so I don't get to my Duron. They Meteor Mash me. I bring in my Dragonite. I'm gonna have to Superpower to take this out. Actually, I don't think I have to. I can just go for the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is enough to take out Metagross from the red health, basically. Well, not quite, but I'll be able to Dragon Breath down now. And now I have to hope it's like an Excadrill so I can Superpower it, but it's actually a Gyarados, which will definitely take me out. I throw a Superpower just because it's funny, but it did nothing, and then we just get taken out by an Aqua Tail, so GG's. Snorlax lead is a matchup that definitely got better with Superpower, as I now have the ability to do super effective damage. So they actually switched out, tried to catch one. Good timing by my opponent, but I didn't throw it. I bring in a Gyarados, which I don't really have a super solid response to, so I throw a Dragon Claw and then I dip out into my Snorlax. Now I should be able to just volley farm down this Gyarados. They throw a Crunch, probably hoping to drop my defense, but luckily that doesn't happen. And because they threw the Crunch, they're actually not going to get to another... Oh, wait, never mind. They do get to another move. Just barely. So this is like super well played by my opponent. They're really getting the maximum use out of that Gyarados. I get to another Aqua Tail, bring my Lax very, very low. Now they probably bring it back in their own Lax. Yes, I'm going to Superpower that. Either take a lot of health from them or take a shield. Either one will be fine. They do shield that up. And I'm just going to go for another Superpower at this point, as soon as I can, just to get this energy off. They no shield that, it does a decent chunk, and they actually threw their move right there as well, which is quite huge. I'm going to bring in my Dragonite now, intending to throw my Superpower immediately, but I accidentally pressed Dragon Claw. I wasn't too sure what side the Dragon Claw was on at this point, and I hit the wrong side, clearly. Anyway, I don't think it's really going to matter in the end, hopefully. We got a Florges in the back here, another like superstar in this Master League Premier Classic meta, but not against Excadrill, because Excadrill walls it pretty hard, or so I thought. So I no-shield this move, but it actually does a ton of damage to Excadrill. It's kind of impressive, and it drops my attack too, which is kind of scary. This is just going to be a disarming voice, so I no-shield it. She brings me deep into the red, which is kind of wild. Florges has much more play versus Excadrill than I expected, actually. But I will be able to Duron it now and have a Duron ready for this Lax too. So this is looking like a game over. They're likely going to shoot this up, then farm me down. Actually, I can switch. So that won't happen. And yeah, I just get to the Dragon Claw here. Take him out. And that is a good game right there. Yes. Yeah, there we go. Magnezone, another lead where Superpower puts in a ton of work. I do have an Excadrill on the back though, so it's even better versus Magnezone. So what I'm gonna do here is throw the Superpower. Even if they shield it, I'm just gonna dip into Snorlax and hope I can ally my Excadrill to this later. They throw a Wild Charge here. Again, Snorlax just an energy sponge. We let this go and see what they bring in. They bring in a Hexorus. It's probably a Gyarados in the back then. That's a pretty common-ish team that I've ran a ton myself. I don't think it's going to be that good this season, but it is quite fun. They get the attack boost there, which is kind of bad, but probably not going to matter at all. We're going to superpower this as it does do more damage, and now they'll get less counters to knock me out. Which is nice, because if they get less counters to knock me out, they might not reach the Dragon Claw versus my Dragonite, which they do not. They're probably going to bring in the Magnezone again, as they do. It's going to superpower again, and well, if they shield this, I'll dip to Extra Drill. But they end up letting it go. We take out the Magnezone, they bring in the Gyarados now, I bring in my Extra Drill, and we lag a little bit, and I throw my Rock Slide, and we lag a bit more, and they get a free Waterfall, and well, because of that free Waterfall, I'm not gonna end up getting to my next Rock Slide. We lag a little bit more, and I had just completely lost track of all the energy, so the rest of this game is kind of moot. I end up no shielding and Outrage at the end, so that's a bit sad. I lose the game, but it didn't really matter. Superpower Dragonite put in a bunch of work there versus the Magnezone, so you can really see its potential in this battle. Como-O lead. This is kind of an even matchup, but since we get to the moves at the same pacing and Dragonite wins CMP, Dragonite will generally win this. So I go for my Dragon Claw here. I kind of want to keep my Dragonite alive though, so after 3 more Dragon Tails here, I will try to catch their second Dragon Claw on my Snorlax. Shoot this one up first though. However, they're not going to allow that. They're actually going to switch into their own Snorlax, which is super fine with me. I'll just superpower it, because it will do a ton of damage if they don't shield, and it does do a ton of damage because they no shield. Bring in my own Snorlax now just to soak up all their energy. I'm gonna let this go. Even if it's a superpower, that's quite fine with me, as then in that case I can just farm up a ton more and throw a Body Slam once they've thrown like another superpower or something to knock them out. But yeah, they go for the Body Slam, then they go for the Superpower. They're basically energy dry now. I had a little bit of residual, I think, so I overfarmed just a bit. Not too much, just a bit safe here. Don't want to get by another Superpower at this point, as it would knock me out, I think. So playing it a bit safe, throw Superpower, knock out the Snorlax. Now, what is gonna come in? Maybe the Como-O? In that case, I can overfarm a ton. No, it's actually the Metagross. I probably should have thrown my Superpower earlier, as I fully intend to just switch out my Snorlax now and go into Extra Drill. So giving them that extra energy might have been kind of stupid. Their Como-O is a bit away from a close combat still. It's 4 Dragon Tails away from a close combat, but only 3 from the Dragon Claw. But since they're 4 Dragon Tails away, I know that I will outpace to a Duran, as it's 12 turns for 4 Dragon Tails and 10 for 5 Mud Shots to get to the Duran. So I do outpace him here. This will knock out the Como-O, and then it's just a matter of outpacing the Metagross to move with my Extra Drill. And even if I don't outpace, my Dragonite still has a bit of energy, and I should be able to take it out with my Dragonite. But no, actually, they only have a Meteor Mash here. Throw the Duran, and this should knock out the Metagross right there. GG's. The next team I'm trying out features another buffed Pokemon, Florges, now with Fairy Wind, which is an absolute menace in this meta, and I think pairs pretty decently with Dragonite too. Main issues for that duo being like Metagross, other Charmers or Fairy types, and Extra Drill a bit. Not really, since Dragonite is fine there, but it's still an iffy matchup. So I'm leading Gyarados with these two, as Gyarados does good versus all of those, or at least decent. I wouldn't say it does great versus like Fairy types, but Florges is fine there too. So between the two of them, it should be manageable. Anyway, we're just gonna head into these battles. First game, we lead onto another Florges, which is actually running the wrong moveset. My opponent's running Vine Whip here, which you definitely don't want to run. Fairy Wind is definitely much better. But anyway, this is a fine matchup for Gyarados, a Vine Whip or Fairy Wind, both. Gyarados actually does fine against. I'm expecting them to Moonblast here, but it actually does quite a chunk, so I shoot it up. They try to catch my Aqua Tail here on their Snorlax, but I didn't throw it, so good patience by me. Bring in my Dragonite here, as this is a pretty decent matchup now that I have Superpower. Just gonna let this go. They don't think they might have farmed up enough for an Outrage there, but most Snorlax don't really run Outrage. Superpower is just generally the better move to go with, so I felt safe. No shielding. I'm gonna no shield the next Body Slam too, and now at the last second I will go for the Superpower. Another one banked now to throw at the Florges too, but I'm really hoping they wait out their timer and I can switch out my Dragonite. That'd be quite nice. They actually don't bring in their Florges though, which is good for me. They bring in their Extra Drill, which I can also hit with a Superpower. They definitely have to shield that. Though, I don't really want to stay in. I was kind of expecting them to switch and try to catch a superpower. And, well, a single debuff superpower, I don't think, or double debuff superpower at that point, probably would not have killed the extra drill either. So just switch it to Gyarados. I forgot what side my Aqua Tail was on, and I throw a Crunch, which is very stupid. If I didn't do that, I would have had another Aqua Tail right here. So, yeah, that's kind of awkward, but it is what it is. Bringing my Florges here. Just take this move at this point. My Dragonite does have a superpower stored, so I should be fine. Just knocking out this opposing Florges, and then my Dragonite should be able to take out the extra drill. Yeah, my timer is also already up. Gonna bring in the Dragonite, throw the superpower, and this will definitely end this mole's career. GG's. Another Florges lead as I get a bunch of items from a gym there. That's kind of wild. And yeah, I went in with my wrong Gyarados here. This one doesn't have Aqua Tail, which is quite bad in this matchup in particular, as I have no charge moves to throw at it. They end up switching out though and catching a Crunch on their Snorlax, which is honestly best case scenario for me. I bring in my Dragonite into it. Well, again, this is a pretty good matchup now. Even before Superpower was like a decent matchup for Dragonite, but now it's just become better. That Florges is like a hard wall though, so I don't really want to get rid of this Snorlax that soon. So I'm actually just going to take another Body Slam, and then I'm going to knock this out with a Dragon Claw, because I'm hoping to save my Dragonite. Seeing as they switched out their Florges out of like a decent matchup, I'm kind of expecting this is like a bait out for a Dragonite, or like a Dragon. They're gonna have something else Dragon Weak in the back. That would make sense. Or it's like an extra drill. And if it's an extra drill, this Dragonite would still come in handy. My switch timer wasn't up yet though, so I was forced to throw the superpower into their Florges, which they do shield up. Bring in my own Florges now, saving my Dragonite. Gonna take... Oh no, I'm actually gonna shield this move, as a Moonblast actually does hurt Florges quite a bit. Which I did throw, so good shield by me. And in comes a Swampert. Look at how much damage this Moonblast is gonna do. Swampert isn't the most tanky thing, but still, in Master League, moves there don't do too much damage, but this Moonblast really, really hurt the Swampert, especially coming from a Florges. I mean, moves, of course, can do a lot of damage, but coming from a Florges, which doesn't have the highest attack, that's some impressive damage right there, to be honest. Shoot up this move, which ends up being a very good move, as it's a Sludge Wave. That would have definitely knocked me out. Now I can take this Swampert out with his Arming Voice, and this game is definitely over at this point. I don't think I get knocked out by the Moonblast quite yet. And then I should be able to get to a Moonblast of my own and take out the opposing power. GG's. Snorlax into Gyarados. This is a pretty even matchup, so I'm fine with staying in, but my opponent actually switches out into their Gyarados. Which is fine with me. I have a very good answer to it in Florges. Florges can easily take 2 Aqua Tails here, so no need to shield either. And my Moonblast is going to do a ton of damage, which I'm going to throw right now. I'm not expecting a shield. Even if they shield this, like Florges just destroys this matchup. Look at that. It's a ton of damage. Next is Arming Voice. Will knock out. They're going to get to an Aqua Tail before that, though. And now they need like 4 Fairy Winds worth of energy before their next move. No, I think it's like 3. So I threw here. This will knock out the Gyarados. And now I'm really hoping I can get to a move first, the Snorlax. Moonblast, ideally. But they throw a Body Slam right before I can get there. Really hoping I survive this at this point, but I won't. That's fine. Dragonite's a better matchup versus Snorlax than Gyarados, but since they switched out of this matchup earlier, I'm kind of expecting something stronger against Gyarados in the back, like their own Dragonite is mainly what I'm expecting. This point though, that's kind of scary, as if it's their own Dragonite, this Snorlax will probably beat my Gyarados and we'll get like a Lick-In versus my Dragonite, and then I will lose the Dragon Breath down, so not ideal. But who knows, maybe it's a Haxorus. I don't know, we'll see. I'm just gonna crunch this Snorlax. It doesn't kill him, but I bring in the next Pokemon, so I respond with Dragonite. And it's a Togekiss. Yes, so this is the big weakness, alright? This is not where you want to see the Dragonite. This is where Superpower does worse than Hurricane. So just get charmed down. GG's. Alright, that was the final battle. Hope you all enjoyed. Definitely be prepared for Dragonite. It is an absolute beast in this format. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. See you next one. Good luck with your battle stringers.